Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making a really lovely chamomile winter hand butter. So the inspiration for this came from when I was doing my stearic acid experiments. And so I sort of do, 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, and I do a wide variety of these experiments. And I use olive oil because that's what I've been using for sort of all of these experiments that I do with different thickeners and hardeners. And sort of as a side note, those are really, really useful experiments to take a look at if you're wondering sort of how much beeswax works in salves and things like that. So I'll throw some links in the description box below. But anyhow, after I had all of those, I sort of melted them all down, put them together, and stirred them as they cooled, and ended up with this really, really neat, rich, creamy substance that was just stearic acid and olive oil. And I loved the way it felt on my skin. It was like some sort of beautiful midpoint between a butter and a salve that had been thickened with wax. It had more sort of staying power on the skin than a butter would, but less than a wax would, and it was less sticky than wax ones can be and less sort of oily and greasy than wax ones can be. And so that got me thinking. So what this is a really gorgeous, rich butter that's made of all kinds of beautiful liquid oils and butters, and then sort of thickened into this lovely consistency with some stearic acid. And so we're using cupuacu butter, which holds over 400% its weight in water, which is amazing. Lanolin, which is a longtime favorite for chapped, irritated skin. We've got anti-inflammatory hemp seed oil and jojoba oil, which is really very similar to the sebum on our own skin and is just gorgeous. So all these things are lovely for dry skin. And then we bring them together with stearic acid, which gives us this gorgeous, thick, creamy substance that you can rub all over your hands. And unlike I sort of find with body butters and things, you don't leave like oily fingerprints everywhere, which is just fantastic. And it's just, guys, it's so beautiful. It's such a unique consistency for things that I have made up until this point, and I'm really, really excited about it. I really want you to try it. I've kept things pretty simple in the essential oil department with just a touch of Cape chamomile, but you can definitely use for anything you want or just leave it unscented. I do find that the scent of the lanolin and the cupuacu butter is a little earthy, so I kind of wanted to throw in something earthy that was maybe a little sweeter to kind of brighten that up, but it's completely up to you. And as always, please remember to check the description box below to click through to the full blog post on this, which is where I have all the information on substitutions and links to all of the ingredients. So there's a lot more information on the blog, so please check that out because it'll probably answer any questions that you have just immediately. But yeah, let's go make some of this gorgeous hand butter. We'll begin by combining all of our heated ingredients in a small heat-resistant glass measuring cup. So we've got 7 grams of stearic acid, 5 grams of lanolin, 5 grams of cupuacu butter, and this is the refined stuff, 5.5 grams of jojoba oil, and 2.5 grams of unrefined hemp seed oil. Now to melt everything together, we're going to pop our measuring cup in a water bath. So this is just a small flat-bottomed saucepan with about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in it and a little silicone coaster. And I'm going to go pop this on the stovetop over medium heat for about half an hour until everything melts through. Okay, so we are all melty, so we can remove this from our water bath and set our water bath aside. And so in the interest of speeding up this cool down process, we're going to use an ice water bath. This sort of concoction that doesn't contain any wax sure takes a long time to cool down. So we are going to speed things up. And do make sure that you are using something with tempered glass for this, because you don't want to go from quite hot to quite cold quite quickly. If it's not tempered glass, it can shatter on you. So as I scrape down the sides here, I am starting to get some solid bits. So this is, there we go. I don't know if you can really see, but it definitely is starting to get some viscosity here. So I'm gonna pull that out to blend that in. So I'm scraping down the sides and getting the bits off the spatula and working that back in to get a nice, smooth final product here. So at this point we can add our vitamin E and our essential oil. So we need 0.125 grams of vitamin E, and I have previously weighed this out to be about a drop. And we're adding 3 drops of chamomile essential oil. So this is South African chamomile essential oil, also known as Cape chamomile, which is a different kind of chamomile than Roman or German chamomile. And they're all really quite lovely and will work here for sort of just the calming, sort of skin soothing effects that we are going for. So feel free to use whichever one you have, but if you love chamomile, I really recommend finding yourself some Cape chamomile because it's amazing. So we need 3 drops of this. All right, well now we're ready to pop this in our container that's not going to seize on us at this point in time. It'll still stay quite creamy, which as you can see, it's really creamy. Like, look at that. I like that spreading. It's just, oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's so lovely. All right, so for our package, got these adorable little jars, a little 25 ml jar from Voyager. Oh, I think it's just so cute. And you take it off and then you get a nice little swirl. And there you go. You just made a beautiful chamomile winter hand butter. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and remember to check the description box below where you'll find all the ingredients written out with the amounts in both metric and imperial and the links to this recipe on my blog, where you'll find the full written instructions, information on substitutions, and links to all of the ingredients and all the equipment I used. See you next time.